Good Thursday evening, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center with a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for parts of Clay, Duval, and St. Johns counties here until 6 o'clock tonight. We are watching here the potential for some damage and wind gusts and some large hail in the area. So let's go ahead and kind of dive in here a little bit more. You'll be able to see on the reflectivity mode some of the storminess in this area a little bit more enhanced. As I'll go over toward velocity, you'll be able to see some wind energy here. We just got an update on this warning where the hail potential actually maybe not sounding quite as big as it did a few minutes ago, but the wind potential here is still in the region. So we got to watch. I know it looks like there might have been a downburst in this area just a few minutes ago, but we still could have some damage and winds or maybe another downburst, something like that, trying to get going. We'll just have to wait and see as we're looking ahead here in toward the region. We have some other action that's non-severe right now as we look toward the south. You see areas there around southern St. John's and northern Flagler getting into some of the action there. And then we had some severe weather in southern Georgia earlier, but that's since moved out of the picture. You see some action here toward Baker County here too, not too intense right now. So really the biggest story is where we had that severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. They did discontinue that at 5:29. A severe thunderstorm was located near Doctor's Inlet or near Middleburg, moving northeast at about 10 miles an hour, and the warnings for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail. As radar indicated, you got to expect here in some spots at least damage to roof side and trees. We're talking about Orange Park, Green Cove Springs, Mandarin, Fruit Cove, NAS Jacks, Fleming Island, Doctor's Inlet, Lakeside, the Bel Air Middlebrook Terrace, and Switzerland as well. So again, it's the fifth thunderstorm warning in play here till 6 o'clock. We're watching this wind potential, a little bit of a hail potential. I'll pull up our hail tracker here in just a moment. We'll be able to see what hail looks like in the area currently and kind of compare and contrast. It's dropped some, but it's still there. As we go ahead and now switch over to the other product, you can see here still some of about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and that's about what the warning is for at this point. They're going just a little higher than that here in the text of the warning. As I go back, you can see just over an inch, so maybe just right around severe limits there in the Asbury Lake area a few minutes ago, as we kind of look there to see exactly the communities and locations being impacted there. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning does continue here till 6 o'clock tonight. This time of year, I know you just have to be aware of the storminess because it can happen here and become a little enhanced pretty quick. So you just have to be cognizant of what is happening in your area. This doesn't look like a situation so far like what we saw on Tuesday where things were just getting really wild across Duval County. And that's the good news. This is more of a in and out type severe event, maybe some area there of a quick downburst, and then maybe becoming just under severe limits. We'll have to wait and see what the Weather Service decides. But right now, the warning does continue here until 6 o'clock for parts of St. John's, Clay, and Duval to be precise. Northwestern St. John's, northeastern Clay, and south central Duval counties in the region here. I'll go ahead and look at some more things as we're progressing. You can see how it's kind of evolved over the last few minutes. Just a little area there of some enhancement. As we back it up, you can see here, I mean, this is even before the warning was issued when we might have had the worst of it. That's just the way it is this time of year. By the time the warning is issued, sometimes the worst is over, and then sometimes by the time I get on, I mean, the worst has already been over by a few minutes just because of the nature of things. Within 3 minutes of the warning being issued, the threat starts to wind down a little bit. But still, there's a lot of lightning around, and this storm could recycle, so keep that in mind too. But you see, this was 2 minutes before the warning. By the time the warning came out, the wind potential wasn't as significant there, so you got to watch for maybe a recycling, which could be trying to occur here north of Russell, right around Doctor's Inlet. So you got to just be aware here of what can happen. This time of year, things are just so tricky. I know to get instant alerts, even before I come on, or maybe post it on the Facebook page like I did earlier, and on Twitter as well, go to the Twitter account at cloud_WX, as that will give you the latest alerts the moment they come out from the Weather Service office there in Jacksonville or the Weather Service office in Tallahassee. It gives you the instantaneous information there, so maybe even turn on notifications for that so you can get those alerts there. Those can be very helpful, especially this time of year when things happen pretty quick. And I know sometimes it does tweet out some alerts that aren't as big of a deal, like river flood warnings, but in this time of a situation, you want to be more cognizant of the alerts because Those are more important. When we're talking about severe thunderstorm, and then sometimes you can get tornado warnings as well. Not that we're expecting anything like that here, but that's still something you got to keep in mind here as well. As I do see an area of enhanced wind, it seems, as we back this up and then go forward. You see a little bit of wind here. This is southeast of Green Cove. We'll have to watch to see if we get a warning here in the ward parts of northern St. Johns County, northern central St. Johns, and then in Duval, they're getting torrential downpours on that evening commute right now, and some winds here that may be 30, 40 miles an hour, something like that. And so we'll continue to watch here. We'll continue to track everything in the Weather Center. We'll see if there's any updates here. Pretty soon they might drop the warning if trends continue, but they're not dropping it yet. So just remember to be careful. Even if the storm's not severe, you want to be careful, because when thunder roars, just go indoors. It's the best thing you can do, because it doesn't take a severe storm for there to be deadly light in the area. You just have to be cognizant of that threat here no matter what. Now I'll check some power outage information right now. I know we're not doing a normal update again today. I've taken off as we've been kind of covering the hurricane situations over the last couple weeks. But I am here in the Weather Center to make sure you're safe. You're staying safe here because of the active severe weather that evolves this time of year. I have another chance here tomorrow, so if I need to be on, I will. But again, as we look into Florida power outage information right now, we're talking about looks like 9,207 customers out, according to poweroutage.us, and in Duval, we have 2,562 customers. So even though they're barely under this warning here, it's mainly a Clay County event, it seems. Some accident, maybe even non-severe accident, knocking out some power there into toward Jacksonville. 185 customers in the dark right now in Clay County. As we get over toward St. Johns County, 7 customers, 5 in Nassau. And then as we look toward North Central Florida, we have 1,102, and a lot to it, despite there never being a warning there. Again, it doesn't take severe weather to knock out power. Even strong storms can do it. Bradford, 31 customers, none in Union right now, and 143 in Columbia. And this is outside of our area, just barely, but in Citrus County, I note that there are over 1,000 customers in the dark right now. So 1,476 there in toward that region. We're talking about areas there further and closer toward the Gulf Coast. So I'm just trying to give you that update as we are looking across the state. Again, we'll continue to watch the severe thunderstorm warning. No new updates, nothing too significant. I think the bigger area is down here right on the edge of the warning. This area right here is where the warning was caused. It caused a warning, but as we look toward the south is where we're looking here in another area. We'll continue to watch, and I'll be back here by about 5:45 with more information. Stay tuned. Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here in the Weather Center with another severe weather update. We're still watching this storm here in toward Clay County, Duval, St. John's as well. And I'll go ahead and put up velocity mode to give you another update in terms of that aspect of the activity. You can see here maybe a little bit of wind energy. We're looking here southeast of Green Cove, some other pockets here as well, but nothing as defined as it was earlier, and that's the good news. We're continuing to watch here. We're continuing to check with the Weather Service to see exactly what they're saying. So I'll be here in the Weather Center to give you the latest. The storm was looking under Dr. Denlin a few minutes ago. Northeast movement at 10, but we have a whole area here where we have to continue to watch some of these accents. So just kind of stay tuned. I'll be back here in a few more minutes or more. Meteorologist Casey Cloud back with you here in the Weather Center. I know that severe thunderstorm warning, they're letting it expire here at 6 o'clock, so that's the good news. We'll continue to watch the action there as it does evolve. We'll see if we get any more warnings here. Rest of the evening is possible, so just kind of stick with me here in the Weather Center. I'll give you the latest information if it's necessary as we're looking at some of our different tools right now, looking at some of our different radar tools. You can see the temperatures here quite a bit cooler north central northeast Florida with some of the rain around, but as we get out toward the Big Bend and in north southwest Georgia, much warmer temperatures are the story there, so interesting to take note of that. And we'll just continue to watch here to see if any power outage information changes here locally. I know just while we're on, we'll go ahead and mention it that according to PowerOutage.us, still 2 days there pretty much after our tropical cyclone, our tropical storm, our hurricane Isaias moved through the northeast there to mid-Atlantic. Over 500,000 customers are still without power in Connecticut and almost 500,000 in New York and New Jersey. So still taking a long time for them to recover, and we're going to have to watch here as hurricane season does evolve because it looks like it's going to still be quite a bit busier than it's even been so far. We could even get into the Greek alphabet, which we haven't really done very much here at all. I know 2005 we did it, but it just tells you how active this year could be. We might go through all the names and then get all the way into that Greek alphabet here and have to start using some of those names to name some of the subtropical cyclones here in the Atlantic Basin. So we'll watch that. None of this here because of a tropical cyclone really brought up the moisture, but not directly by any stretch of the imagination part of a tropical cyclone here. So that's the good news. We'll continue to look here at some more information. Again, if we get any more alerts, we'll make sure we give them to you, either if we need to cut in or if I'll just go ahead and post about it if it's a more rural area or a more more of an alert here that's less concerning. So we're watching here some of the wind energy. You see some of these areas of enhanced wind, but not looking like anything over about maybe 40 miles an hour. So that's what we like to see here. Things look a little bit calmer now, but we'll watch, see if anything develops here as we get out toward the west. We'll watch to see, get any of that action, but not really expecting too much here at this point, especially north central northeast Florida, because it seems like the atmosphere is getting worked over. But if there's anything I need to talk about here today, tomorrow, I'll be on it. For now, I'm meteorologist Casey Cloud. Thanks so much for tuning in.